Hey guys, Julie here, and I just wanted to insert a little clip just chatting because it's been a while since we've sat down and had a chat. So the reason the painting that I just covered up is significant is because I created it 2 years into my art journey. And when I say 2 years, I mean 2 years since picking up my very first sketchbook. So I was still very much a noob when it came to art, and I never really touched acrylics at this point. So the fact that I was somehow confident enough to pick up this massive canvas and create an acrylic piece with it, like, that still astounds me to this day. But I am really proud of myself that I was able to create such a massive piece with the help of a YouTube tutorial, Paint by Shiba, so I'll link that down below. But regardless, I still think it's a huge accomplishment, especially considering where I was in my art journey, like right at the beginning. So now, 2.5 years later, or about 5 years after I initially decided I wanted to learn how to draw, I am a lot more confident that I could create something that is nicer, something that I could be more proud of. So I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. Watch it be worse, who knows? But at this point, I feel pretty good about the idea, what I want to paint, and you guys will see it come along. A lot of things have changed over these 2.5 years, and at the same time, a lot of things have stayed the same. I've definitely improved since then, and I'm excited to showcase that improvement today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, supplies will be listed down below, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comments. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm excited to see what I come up with, and I hope you are too.
It's the next day, it's about 1 p.m. and this is my setup. So I'm just sitting in front of a poorly gessoed canvas here. No, I mean, I covered what I needed to cover, so it's fine. I have my acrylics here. So these are my little acrylics. And I have bigger tubes here. And the reason why this is all wrapped up is because I was going to take this with me to Korea. But it is very heavy and very bulky. And I already started packing, and there's just no way this is gonna fit within the limits of my suitcase. So as you can see, they were all wrapped up. I was ready to take them, but I can't. So the next best thing is to use them up before I go. Oh, I am wearing pants, by the way. Don't be fooled by this little frilly apron. This is my painting apron. Here, it's really dark, but I was in the middle of watching one of Chloe Rose's videos. Russian detail jewel tip markers. Now these things, I see these. She's gonna keep me company today, along with some other YouTubers. So I have a few photos here that I'm gonna use as reference. So I'm gonna figure out the composition and the colors and go from there.
So these are my colors so far. I'm really bad at mixing colors. Color theory is not my strong suit, but I'm hoping that this will turn out okay, especially since I planned my colors out in advance. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and paint the buildings and kind of draft it out, just like a quick thumbnail. Okay, so I played with some colors, and this is what I ended up with. I like everything except for this green, and I mixed a few different greens, and I really can't figure it out. So I'm gonna play around with it, but I'm just itching to get started. So I'm gonna start by drawing an outline, probably with a pencil. I don't think I'm gonna use paint, and then I'll go from there. And hopefully it works out well. I guess we'll see. I might add a bit more color to the sky and the water. I've never really painted realistic water, so I'm sure that's gonna be difficult. And also I'm not that great at painting foliage, so that'll also be another struggle. Oh, and the rocks too. I'm just not very good at a lot of these things, so I'm sure I'll hit quite a few speed bumps along the way. But I am very excited to dive in, so I'll get to it.
On January 21st, 2019, I painted on this massive canvas. This project was tasked to me by my mother and is referred to as my first commission. Only I wasn't paid, and actually spent about $100 on the canvas and supplies.
Okay, so this is what I have so far. It kind of looks like a hot mess. Not gonna lie, I was getting really anxious. Just because, I don't know, I was just so overwhelmed. But after blocking out the colors and the composition, I feel a little bit better. I really dig this combination of greens here, so I really hope I can replicate that. And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna start to go in, and I really want to start with the buildings because that's the focus. So I want the buildings to be the most prominent, I want them to be the nicest. So I'm gonna start with that. Also, they're the most fun. And then I'm just gonna go outwards. I think the most tedious part of this will be maybe painting the rocks, or like this corner here, because there are a lot of details here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can simplify that, and then I guess figure it out from there.
Okay, so this is what I have so far. As you can see, it's still a hot mess. And for a while I was starting to feel a little anxious because it's just a really big canvas. So I got stressed out for a bit, but right now I'm starting to slowly have a bit more fun with it, and I'm not looking so much at the reference photos, I'm just focusing on putting colors down. I decided to move indoors because it's way too hot outside, and I have a fan here, so it's keeping me cool. So I'm pretty happy-ish with the colors, at least of the buildings, and I really like this blend of greens here. So hopefully I can remember how I created these greens because I don't entirely recall. I am hoping to have this tie together a little bit more. I think next I'm gonna work on the rocks and just this outside part and start building this up. Yeah, rather than perfecting one corner and moving along, I kind of paint all over the place. That's just my way of doing things. I don't know if it's the most efficient or effective, but for now it works for me. Hey folks, this is where we left off. As you can see, structure is coming together. You know, I really wasn't feeling this bottom part here until I came back the next day and had a look at it. And then I was like, you know what? It actually is coming together. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing over here, but you could kind of tell what's going on. So that's the plan. I'm just not really gonna think too hard about it. I'm just gonna paint and I'll see how it goes. It's about 1 p.m. right now, and I'm probably going to work on this all day because I only have 4 days left, or I guess 3.5, before I have to leave the country. So my timing, as usual, is impeccable. I'm a little stressed, but I think I'll get a lot done today. So yeah, let's find out together, shall we?
Long story short, my mom wanted a massive painting for our living room, and me, having hardly any experience with acrylics, thought, what the hell, easy breezy, I'll whip you up something real cute. Needless to say, I bit off way more than I could chew. I had no idea what I was doing. Turned to Paint with Shiba for guidance, link to his tutorial in the description, and powered through for 3 straight days. The end result was something not too shabby for a total noob. I actually documented the process, so I'll link that video down below as well. In summary, being a total novice gave me a ton of confidence. Unearned confidence, but confidence nonetheless. While it's true that not knowing what the heck you're doing can be terrifying, it can also be quite freeing. And this is a lesson that I chose to live by. You see, the first painting was created during a time of inner turmoil. I was in between jobs and no longer knew what I wanted out of life. And I get it. At 23 years old, you're supposed to stumble through career prospects. It's considered a rite of passage of sorts. But in the moment, it weighed very heavily on me. So this painting was a blessing. It took all of my focus away from my current predicament so that I could pour it into another. With my hair a mess and paint all over my arms, I felt much less neurotic than I had throughout the months prior. Considering the quarter-life crisis I was in the middle of, painting on this huge blank canvas was child's play.
Okay, let's just talk about this corner for a second here. I have no idea what's happening. And it's stressing me out. But I know that as soon as I get into the flow of this corner here, everything else will be easy breezy. Like, I'm loving how this looks. I just have to fix up some of the colors, add some structures. Not really feeling those trees back there, but I got my general color scheme, so I just have to make them look better. The water, I think I'm gonna make it less detailed because I don't know if it really goes with the rest of the painting. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The rocks are looking all right. They just need some finessing. This corner here, what the heck is going on? I have no idea. But I'm gonna keep at it, and hopefully within the next hour or so, I can have a better idea of what I'm doing with this. So yeah, I'm gonna focus in on this corner, and I hope y'all enjoy.
It took some time, but I began to realize that not knowing what I wanted out of life was also a blessing. Without a plan in motion, I could potentially do anything, be anything. But what really left its mark is that I could also be anywhere. In March of this year, I applied to an English teaching program in South Korea, a place that I honestly didn't have much interest in to start with, nor do I have any experience in teaching. But like the bright-eyed noob I was diving into that painting on New Year's Day 2.5 years ago, I'm ready to throw myself into this new adventure.
So this is what it looks like so far. Don't ask me what's going on over here, because I don't really know. And there's a chance I might just leave it because I only have 2 days. And I don't think I'm gonna work on this past today. So I'm gonna put in like 6 hours. And hopefully it looks good enough to hang up. Even if it doesn't, I'm probably still gonna hang it up because now there's a blank spot in my living room. And I promised my family a painting, so even if it's ugly, this is gonna be it. But no, I feel like it'll be okay. If I really wanted to make this nice, I feel like I would need to take tomorrow to finesse it some more, but I'm not going to. So yeah, it's just gonna be today. Hopefully I can get a lot done. I'm really excited to get started on these houses here. I feel like I went a little crazy on the colors and some of them look a bit muddy. I did want it to look kind of blended, like all the colors kind of blend into one another, but I think I kind of overdid it. So hopefully I can fix that, and if not, then too bad. This is my palette right here, these two. They look like a hot mess. I've been reusing these plates since I started this painting, so sometimes I can't tell what's fresh paint and what's dry.
These are my colors here. I have this orange pastel color, a nice light pink and some dark pink, a light bright yellow, this sort of light turquoise. Then I have the salmon color. I have some dark blue, mustard yellow, some magenta, and then bright orange. Here I have phthalo green. No, that's dry. This one here is just sort of a lavender and a darker purple, and then I have another kind of turquoise color. It's a little more blue.
The painting that I unceremoniously defaced represents a lot. Not only growth in art, but in trusting the process and doing so with all of the joy and finesse of a 5-year-old who, quite frankly, has yet to learn how to give a crap. And while I procrastinated painting over it for the better part of a year, with a week left in my home country, I decided it was time. Might as well leave my family with something to look at until my return. Sure, my painting suffered as a result of this self-imposed lack of time. Also, I pushed my final packing session until 2 a.m. on the morning of my flight, one of many regrets. But I'm still happy with the way it turned out. I love the colors of the building, how harmonic they are, and how they blend into one another. The vibe of this painting is totally what I was going for. It's of the Cinque Terre in Italy. I've never been, but whenever I see photos of these buildings, I fall in love. The perspective is a bit off, but you know what's new. Also, some of the buildings are a little bit slanted, and given more time, I would have added a few more details to really tie it together. But what's important is that it's an improvement from my last painting. I mean, after 2.5 years, I'd hope that it would be at least marginally cuter. Better yet, this new painting represents a completely different period of my life. While I still have no idea what the heck I'm doing, I'm okay with that. This painting is about diving into a brand new adventure. It's about letting go of inhibitions and the idea of perfection. It's about being confident, and this time not under false pretenses, but earning every drop of it. Because, hey, I made it this far. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. Once I get into the swing of things in South Korea, I will work to upload less sporadically, but it will probably take a few more weeks, so please bear with me. Until then, stay creative and stay inspired. Peace. Okay guys, this is as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna hang it up now, and yeah, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. This is the status of my room. I'm very stressed. Here is the painting. And the perspective's a bit off, but I think it looks a lot better than the last painting that I put up. It definitely shows more intention. And yeah, I just think it's brighter. The colors are a little nicer. They flow a little bit better. I really like this middle part here. I kind of feel like I'm in a storybook. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the time this is uploaded, I will be in Korea, so I'll see you guys later.